Hi and welcome back to Down the Shed with me, Jason. So on this episode I am going to build slightly off piece for my channel, but I do intend taking it slightly in different directions. This little Spitfire plane, mini gift in a tin, apples to pears seems to be the company. As I said in my last video, introduction to capacitors, I got this in a local charity shop for £1.25, normally £7. So a quick look at some instructions. Quite a simple photograph or photographic instructional with a few words. So I've already opened it up to check the contents earlier on. So we have a nice little tin at the end of it. Move that over there because that gets in the way. So a couple of fuselage bits, well, they're the fuselage bits, not sure what they are. There's a wing piece, there's a few more wing pieces in these. A little piece of sandpaper for rubbing the parts down. So these are all the parts. So what we shall do, slide this all across a bit to get it in the camera. There we go. So what I should do is knock out the bits I want. I'm not going to pause the videos, I shall just edit out any of the boring bits and we shall get this built. So to start with, we need the little stick is for pushing parts out, but really you don't really need to worry about that because they kind of come out quite easily anyway. Firewood, not sure what all those little bits there are, but so this is all laser cut. So that's all our 6 pieces of wing. So let's put these over here, move that to one side. So I shall give these a quick rub down. So you could paint this if you wanted to, I guess. There's no reason why not. You could stain it. We can always stain it once it's built if we want to. I may give it a bit of a mahogany stain. So that's those parts. So we want, I'm actually might have some light over here. Let's see what we've got. Let's see what we've got. So that's our 2 blank pieces. A bit of a mark on there. I think I will stain it, but I'll wait till it's built. So we should have a fat one, a thin one. That one goes there. Right, so that'll be an underneath one, like that. Then we want one of these in the middle, like that. And then we want one of these ones on the top, like that. So that's, so again, same for the other one. So we'll have that bit at the bottom, that bit in the middle, and that bit on the top. And so it says we should basically something like that. So that's the 3 pieces, and we need to glue those together. So it just kind of makes it like a 3D affair. They're all flat there and there. So we'll put that one down there for the minute. It's already out of shape. Same with that one. So let's try and get it down without it moving too much. So those will be our wings. So we'll get those to hold against the flat surface to ensure ends are level. Don't forget to glue at each stage. Ease each side panel on carefully. Okay, so let's get the wings glued. They do supply us with a little pot of glue. I think what we'll do is just put a little dab on like so, and a little dab on like so. You don't need to put gallons of it on. So let's get those up against the flat. Okay, happy with that one. So, well, so. Probably do a close peg actually, just to hold them together. Yeah, so, okay, so I'm going to pause the video here. I'll get these glued together. Need some weight or something or other, but I'm going to get a couple of close pegs and then I'll glue the other one together. Let's get some glue on it so it starts drying. They are, it looks so simple, yet they are fiddly. There we go. So let's just try and get that. And I shall be back. Okay, so that's the wings gluing. We should leave them for the best part of, I guess, of an hour. It's quite warm in here, so it shouldn't take too long. So we'll give that time. I'll start piecing these bits of video together, ready for the next stage. Okay, so we're going to take our two fuselage parts. What we want is the cutout piece to the back, pointy bit to the back, flat to the front. Take that with our other fuselage piece, hold them close together with the wing and the, I think it's supposed to represent the machine gun, the pointy piece to the front. Slide that in and that will make up that section. So what we'll do is we'll put some glue onto these, get that into place like so, and then peg it and then put them on top of the nice warm telly to dry. So we'll do that. And if you just want to spread this around a little bit and give it a better stick, there are a couple of sections on each of these sides where the glue didn't stick in the middle because there wasn't any, but it doesn't matter. So we'll get that on there like that. Again, like I say, we'll just slide that onto here. We're only basically fitting the wing at the moment to get it all squared up like so. So as you can see, if I hold that like that, so what I'm going to do is peg there, peg there. We'll take the wing out and we'll peg it in the middle like so. We'll do the same for the other side. So this will be the right hand side, so that will go on like that. Again, just spread some glue out. I've got some PVC glue somewhere if this runs out, so it's not a big deal. Just give that a little bit of a spread. These are quite thin wood, or this is quite thin wood, so don't get excited with it and heavy hand it. And you can see that's quite flexy. So again, insert the wings, add the fuselage, whatever, add the fuselage. We'll take our pegs, 1, 2, remove the wing, add the third peg for the middle, and we'll put these on top of the telly, the nice little warm telly to dry. So we'll give those about half an hour, 45 minutes. The wings can go to one side. So step number 7, wing base should be flush with side. So I think we'll have to cut that down a bit. So we might have to get the little coping saw out, and I think cut these back a section, because they're certainly not flush. I don't think we should have had them sticking out any, or possibly we should. We will have to cut them. Yeah, we will. Otherwise these edges aren't going to sit up flush, or this edge isn't going to sit up flush. So yeah, we'll worry about that at a later stage. It does say wing base should be flush with side. There's another panel. Repeat steps 1 to 9 to build the other side of the plane. So I've been doing both steps at once. So let's have a look at the rest of our parts. Here we go. So we've got 2 more fuselage parts, which should take up a bit of that spare, like so. So I'm thinking we'll probably glue those on afterwards. So we'll leave that for the minute. Hopefully there's less glare on that camera, because I'm going to have to put a screen or something on this window. Alright, so step 11 will be now glued 2 sides together. Step 12 will do the propeller and nose. So we'll do the propeller and nose now. So the propeller and nose, while that's all drying. Funnily enough, this is a spitfire, and part of the propeller appears to be a swastika. Which we've just broke. Okay, so we've now got a damaged swastika. That didn't last long, did it? See what happens when they cut this shite out. Make the pieces too small to actually press out, and then give you a bloody cocktail stick that bends. So, looks like we'll have to do a bit of a repair there. Okay, so that should glue in there quite easily. We'll just get a dab of glue on there. Take the other section of our swastika, like that glue off there. It's quite ironic they made the shape of this a swastika. So that'll be glued back together like that. As you can see what I mean by the swastika. So we'll have to let this piece dry now before we can fit the propeller parts, or blades. Okay, so moving on, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little circles. We can crack on with those. I don't know why I tried doing model kits. I've never had a lot of success with them in the past. That shall do. Good enough in my book. So we'll put that on the telly to dry as well. So we'll hold that there because I still need to glue these two panels onto the other fuselage members. Glue the 4 blades onto the swastika prop, or onto the swastika to make the prop. So once we've done those bits, glue the propeller, nose and engine strips, which will be these very small awkward pieces here, excuse me. We can do the base and the stand now. Once all that's done, we can insert the tail fins, include Spitfire to its stand, leave to dry for 2 to 3 hours. So we'll just knock this piece out. I'm guessing that goes in like that. That's what it looks like in the picture. So we'll put some glue around the base, like so. I'll give this a really liberal amount. You don't really want it coming out. Make sure it sits flush. Let's get it on a nice flat surface here. So you want it quite straight, obviously. Looks good enough, so we'll allow that to dry. And we shall come back to that shortly. Actually, there's 2 more pieces here. Okay, so there's actually 2 more panels in this section which go onto the fuselage. So we'll let those finish drying and we'll carry on with that. That panel has got the tail fins in it. There's those other 2 fuselage parts which go with these 2. So we need to get these onto the actual fuselage, which is drying on the telly at the moment. So bear with me. In your land it will be virtually no time at all, and in my world it'll be half an hour. See you soon. Right, so as you can see, I've already taken the liberty of gluing this side together, so we've got all 4 fuselage parts and the wing glued in. So that side is almost completed. So whilst we've got the wing in there, we want to take the larger of the other 2 pieces, give it a bit of glue. You don't need to be shy with it, you do get quite a decent amount in the bottle. So we'll slip that into place, he said, like so. Same with the other piece. So remember the sharp bit, or the fat bit on the goes at the back. So this will go on that way. Ooh, that's a lot. So just give that a good spread around, like so. And this can go on to the other section. So again, we'll just slide that in, slide it down, like so. Now what I did on the other one was I removed the wing at this point. What I think I'm going to do is just slide it out a wee touch, get some glue in there. That wants to be flush, so we'll get that all drying at the same time. So I'm going to peg these down. These will go back on the warm TV to dry. Oh, I can't really get the middle one in. So let's push the wing in. Hopefully that will dry as well. So we'll leave those up on the telly to dry. Now that's all drying, we could take a look at these wing tips, or tail fin tips, tail fin wings. Right, that's that section done with. More firewood. So I reckon if we just push that in, sit it and lay it down on the bench, that'll probably be enough to glue it in. So we'll get this side of the wing in, and then that'll be that section actually completed, nearly. we've got the, being careful not to bust these windscreen part. I've already bent one of them and I've put some glue on it. It's quite a loose fit in there actually. Just get a bit of glue on the actual end here, like that. Ooh, pushed it out and it sucked it back in. So we'll get that in there like so. I'm guessing that wing's on the right way. Let's have a look, see what it looks like the other way. No, it definitely goes that way. Okay, so I'm happy with that. So we'll just set that down level and flat. Nicely. Okay, so let's take our swastika. I still can't believe they made that the shape of a swastika. I mean, seriously, what were they thinking? I showed my course tutors earlier, they couldn't believe it either. Take our 4 propeller blades carefully. And if you remember, I had to glue that swastika back together because I damaged it. Now the blades just literally slot in to the edges of the swastika, like so. So let's start gluing these in one by one. Oh, okay. So a little bit of glue on the bench, dab them in. One out. Slot that in. Dab of the glue, slot that one in. A dab of the glue, slot that one in. And the last one, so we'll just get a bit more. Put another dab on the bench, why not? There we go. So a dab of the glue, and we'll slot this last one into place. So that's our swastika propeller, like so. We don't really, I want to put that on a flat surface. And we'll take our nose cone with all those little circles that we made yesterday, scrape the rest of that up. We'll sit that on the top, like so. So that is our prop. We'll sit that on there, nice and flat. Push down on the nose. That will do for that. Which leaves us with one tail fin, propeller end to put onto the nose, and these 2 engine parts. Now I don't think these are going to come out very easily. What I'm trying to do is bend the entire thing and free them up like that. There we go. So just try bending the wood around them, and there we go. So we snap the wood, not the part. So now we've got our 2 little exhaust manifolds. So it looks like I think at the end of the day you can put these on whichever way suits. I'm going to try and contact Apple to Pears and see if they'll send me any more kits if they like this video. Hopefully they will. I need somebody to endorse my channel while I'm doing my HGV course and literally only getting dole money. So this kind of just sits on the end piece like that. Push that down. So this can now go on the telly and dry. So now we'll quite literally have the other exhaust manifold to fit, the other tail fin to fit, the nose cone, glue the 2 pieces together and then glue them to the stand. So I shall see you in about 2 seconds and I'll crack on with it in about an hour's time. Right, as you can see, I've got the model suspended upright on a bit of blue tack. I'm sitting low because I'm just using the one camera for this bit. So we're literally just going to put some glue onto the nose section, like yo, and then we'll sit the prop unit. We'll leave that to dry. In the morning we'll glue it onto its base if I get a chance before my course starts, and that is basically job done. Right, so we'll glue the two half sections of plane together. Right, so that's nice and flush. We can probably get this other engine piece on, manifold. Right, that should match. Let's just dab this into the glue. Try and get them as even as possible. That'll do nicely. So that needs to dry. We'll get this other tail fin on. Match it the same as the other one. We don't want to get one on one way and one on wrong. So that's looking good. So all we have left now is the propeller section and the stand. So that's that for the minute. That's pretty much all together now. The tail section on. Everything's done apart from the nose cone. Okay, so the nose cone is on. The propellers are slightly out of sync because it fell off the TV and snapped them. I don't really want to mess around with that too much. So the only thing left to do now is to glue the base into the slot there. So basically just trying to get it to sit. I had it sitting a minute ago. Like seriously, off camera I had this thing sitting quite nicely on its base by itself. It's a loose fit, but there we go, something like that. I mean, it doesn't really matter as long as it sits on there. A jaunty angle won't hurt. So we'll bang some glue onto that. So we'll just get some glue in here quite nicely. Slot the stand into it, and when this glue dries, I think it's proper wood glue because it does actually glue pretty solid. Basically just try and get it to sit nicely. And that is basically Apple to Pears Spitfire model. I think I'll leave it at an angle like that actually. So yeah, we'll whack some stain on there tomorrow I think, just to give it a bit of a darker coat. And that's our Spitfire. So like the video, subscribe to the channel, catch you in the next video. Ciao Lily!